Hey there, viewers. I know times have been weird lately. For many, it's been downright stressful. How's your mental health been? What about your friends? More than 264 million people around the world are suffering from depression. To make things scarier, these are only the people who have been diagnosed. You could be depressed and not even realize it. Let's talk about 6 hidden signs your friend is depressed. Have their sleeping patterns been unusual? Have they been acting unlike themselves? Have they been saying weird things? Like really weird things? We're talking about all that and more. Number 1, they've been talking philosophically. You can't spend every waking minute with people close to you. They may not tell you outright that something's wrong. If your friend has been depressed, one of the first ways you'll find out is through conversation. If your friend's been acting strange lately, pay close attention to things they're saying. It won't take long to realize they aren't themselves. Let's say your friend is normally upbeat, constantly joking around whenever you're out. They tell hilarious stories, but also know how to make small talk. But yesterday, when the two of you had lunch, your conversation was a lot different. Instead of a funny tale of something that happened to them, they've switched topics like spirituality and the overall meaning of life. They're even asking if you care about them. This is a huge red flag, as thoughts of this nature usually signify that someone is in a dark place. Nobody just suddenly begins talking like this without going through a radical change in their life. Things can get particularly alarming if they imply that they want to hurt themselves. They probably won't say it outright. It comes in the form of a subtle hint. While this might not happen in the first sitting, it gradually leads up to this. That is, if it's not confronted. If the things your friend is saying have been worrying you, let them know. At the same time, many of the deep things they say can be weirdly positive. Let's say instead of talking about hurting themselves, they're talking about finding happiness in their lives. I'm talking about satisfaction that was never present before. Have you ever had an epiphany? A time where you realize what's important in your life? Sound off in the comments section and start a conversation with our Bestie community. Number 2, they're suddenly emotional. Conversation is not the only time you're exposed to someone's sensitive side. You'll also see how they react to certain things. For instance, if a depressed person is watching a movie, they become a lot more emotionally involved. Say the two of you are sitting down and your favorite show comes on. A sad scene that you simply brush off is one that hits them hard. This can be anything from an intense reaction to actual crying. It happens during regular conversation as well. Something you say can be met with sudden hostility and anger. It is confusing since your intention wasn't to offend this person. Depression causes mood swings. Your emotions will go up and they'll go down. A depressed person will also become irritable out of nowhere. The two of you will be talking and all of a sudden they raise their voice and warn you to be quiet. Maybe they suddenly get worked up while the two of you are in traffic. Studies show that men with depression are more likely to experience this symptom. Number 3, they are drinking more than usual. For a depressed person, a night out at the bar can burn a hole in your wallet. Nearly 1/3 of people with depression have a drinking problem. If you notice that your friend's been drinking more than usual, this is cause for concern. They could be going through a major depressive episode. If your friend is willing to talk, you may want to reach out to them and ask about their alcohol intake. This might be met with frustration at first, but if you let them know you mean well, they tend to open up. Now this'll sound cliched, but remind them that alcohol is no way to make your situation any better. It only drives them further down. The more they drink, the heavier their depressive episodes will become. Alcohol will also make their antidepressants less effective. Here's something else. It's good for your friend to explore the idea that alcohol intake may be what has made them depressed in the first place. Alcohol is a natural depressant and can cause your brain to fall into a negative state. Either way, if your friends keep drinking, they're likely to make stupid decisions. Negative thoughts about hurting themselves can also increase. Try to steer them in a different direction that leads to putting down the bottle. Before we continue, are you having trouble switching up your diet? You'd be surprised what can actually benefit you. Check out our recent video discussing the unexpected health benefits of butter. Now back to our list on signs your friend is depressed. Number 4, they've lost interest in things they enjoy. If the two of you are close, you likely have similar interests. That was until your friend mysteriously started backing out of things. Do you and your friend like going to see movies? Have they been canceling your outings last minute and instead opting for a night inside? This might be a sign that they're sad. Depression often sucks the enjoyment out of things you're passionate about. I'm not just talking about hobbies. This counts for goals you're trying to achieve. Are you aiming for that big promotion at the office? Depression can drive you into such a dark place, you may not care about it after a while. You simply aren't looking towards the future. If your friend has been describing their work life in a way that makes it sound insignificant, this can be depression talking. We all have moments where we're frustrated with our job, but if they say that they've lost interest in their careers, their illness might be taking over. There is one major place of interest depression can affect. No, not hobbies or jobs. I'm talking about relationships. Your mental health is important in a relationship. People who are suffering from depression often push away their significant others out of fear that they won't understand. Number 5, they're looking a little too happy. This one might sound like it contradicts my other points, but it really doesn't. Remember how depressed people often push folks away? This can be another form of that. A person suffering from depression might be afraid of how others will react. To avoid being called out on their negative attitude, they'll purposely appear upbeat and happy. This often comes in the form of a constant smile. Some of the more energetic, funny people suffer from terrible feelings of depression. Perhaps the best example from recent years is none other than the late, great Robin Williams, a beloved comedian and movie star who made generations of fans laugh. In reality, he was suffering from crippling depression. This is not just common with performers. Regular people can be like this as well. Happiness is something that comes naturally. It's accompanied by plenty of other emotions. When one of your close friends seems a little too happy, the reality is usually the exact opposite. A telltale sign is that they spend as little time in social situations as possible. A person who is sad doesn't want to spend any more time than they need to in public. They'll often make excuses for why they have to leave. Look for them answering random phone calls in the middle of an outing. This'll be their exit strategy. Number 6, they haven't been sleeping. When a person is feeling down, sleep is one of the most affected things. To put it plainly, you need your sleep. Adults are recommended between 7 to 9 hours of sleep in order to maintain their health. Anything less than that over a long period will hurt you physically and mentally. A friend of yours suffering from depression won't have to mention how tired they are. You'll be able to tell right away. Pay attention to their demeanor as well as their face. Do they have bags under their eyes? Are they constantly slouching? It's their lack of sleep that plays into other symptoms of depression. Depression is associated with extreme fatigue. Your friend might even look like they want to fall asleep at the table. Unless you're living with this person, you can't keep an eye on their sleeping habits. Whether or not they get a good night's sleep is up to them. Just make sure that you're there for them when they want to open up. Has one of your close friends been depressed? Are any of these signs accurate? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of bestie would we be if we didn't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video and enjoy.